We all somehow met that guy. That one player who, whatever ball comes at him, he somehow manages to get out of pressure and never loses the ball. You can literally give him the ball in the worst scenario, surrounded by 3 defenders, back to goal, and he still gets out of it. Or at least he gains a foul in a good position with intelligence. Well, this is something you must learn, because every coach, every scout, and even your teammates, they love that guy who never loses the ball. They trust him more, which means he gets more passes. So be ready, because if you're the player who panics when pressure comes, if you're the one who gives the ball away cheaply, if you freeze when a defender gets close, this video might be the most important thing you watch this year. Let me ask you something. How many times have you received the ball, felt that defender breathing down your neck, and just panic? You either rush a pass to nowhere, lose control completely, or just boot it upfield hoping for the best. I get it. We all have been there. But here's what most people don't understand about ball retention. It's not just about technique. There's a psychological element that runs so deep, most players never even realize it exists. Think about it. Why do some players look so calm when the pressure comes? Why does someone like Moussa Dembélé look like he was playing a different sport when defenders, experienced defenders, look foolish when they try to press him? It's because they've mastered something most players spend their entire careers ignoring. They've learned to slow down time. Now, before you think I'm getting crazy, let me explain what I really mean, because this is backed by science. There was a study done on elite footballers, and what they found was fascinating. When these players were put under pressure situations with the ball, their brain activity looked completely different from amateur players. While amateur players showed massive spikes in brain activity, overthinking, panicking, trying to process too much information, the elite players' brains looked almost quiet. I am talking about players like Neymar and Messi. Their prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for conscious thinking, was barely active. Instead, their motor cortex, the parts responsible for automatic movement, were doing all the work. They weren't thinking their way out of pressure, they were feeling their way out. This is what I call the retention mindset, and it's something you can develop, but not in the way most people teach it. Most coaches will tell you the basics: keep your head up, scan before you receive, use your body to shield. And yeah, these things matter, but they're just the surface level. The real secret lies deeper. It's about training your nervous system to stay calm when chaos erupts around you. It's about developing such a deep connection with the ball that you don't need to look at it to know where it is. It's about understanding space and pressure, not just with your eyes, but with your entire body. How did he develop this? By playing hundreds of hours of football as a kid in spaces barely bigger than your living room. By learning to feel the game. We're so obsessed with drills and structure that we forget football is a game of feeling. When you're in a tight space with pressure coming from all sides, you don't have time to think. You need your body to know what to do automatically. This is something you heard a lot of times in my videos if you have been following me for a long time. Now, your body has an incredible ability to sense space and pressure, but only if you let it. Most players shut this down by overthinking. They see a defender coming and immediately their brain starts calculating. Should I pass? Should I turn? Should I shield? The best players bypass this thinking process entirely. They feel where the pressure is and where the space is, and they move accordingly. It's like having a sixth sense for danger and opportunity. But how do you develop this sense? How do you train something that seems so natural, so automatic? It starts with understanding what pressure actually is. Most players think pressure is bad, something to avoid, but pressure is just information. It's data. It's your environment telling you where you can and can't go. Your body can sense pressure long before your eyes can see it, through sound, through peripheral vision, through the subtle changes in air movement around you, but you have to train yourself to listen to these signals. So now you understand that pressure isn't your enemy, It's a signal, a clue. And once you start viewing it like that, your entire game starts to change. But to be more aware of this clue, you also need to know exactly where your body is in space, how it's moving, and how to adjust instantly without overthinking. That's why we must train proprioception. Proprioception is your body's internal GPS. It's what lets you control your limbs without having to look at them. It's what allows a striker to volley across midair or a midfielder to turn with a defender breathing down his neck without panicking. And the scary part is most players don't train this at all. They never directly train the one system that makes all those drills useful in a real game. Because if you lose control of your body under pressure, all your technical skills become useless. So let me explain what science already knows about this. There are 4 types of proprioception. 1, the sense of position, where each part of your body is in space. 2, the sense of movement, how fast and in what direction your body parts are moving. 3, the sense of force, how much tension your muscles are producing. 4, the sense of heaviness, your ability to judge the weight of an object, like the ball, as you interact with it. These aren't conscious skills. They happen beneath your awareness, but they can be trained. Let me show you how. 1, barefoot drills. Your feet are the gateway to proprioception. They contain thousands of nerve endings, and wearing shoes all day kills your sensitivity. Start training barefoot. Stand on one foot, close your eyes, and hold your balance. Feel the micro adjustments in your ankle, your toes, your hip. Then try adding instability. Use a pillow, a wobble board, or just shift your weight subtly. Do this every day for just 5 minutes, and you'll start noticing faster adjustments in-game when you're knocked or pressed. Then add more sessions with barefoot juggling, barefoot passing, shooting, just feeling more the ball with your foot. Let it analyze its movement patterns, the tension, and the weight. To add more difficulty, try juggling while walking backward. Even closing your eyes. Trap the ball from random bounces off a wall. The goal is to force your body to react with zero prediction. This mimics what happens in a game: bad passes, awkward touches, heavy pressure, and builds subconscious corrections. Another drill is to stand 1 to 2 meters from a wall, pass the ball hard with your right foot, and instantly control with your left. Then switch. Make it unpredictable. Use a tennis ball if you want to make it harder. This forces quick limb coordination and awareness of movement across both feet under time pressure. And listen, this is the bridge between technical training and real game intelligence. If you always lose the ball, chances are it's not just because you lack skills, it's because your brain and body aren't connected under stress. These drills connect them. They build that sixth sense. They make your body trust itself again. At the end of these, check your proprioception level with this exercise. Stand with one foot and close your eyes, and then see how much you can hold in that position without shaking or moving. If it is too easy, do it on an unstable soft surface like a pillow. The more you stay balanced without moving, the better. Now, let's keep going, because there's more to learn if you really want to stop losing the ball. Watch how Eden Hazard used to handle pressure when he was terrorizing Premier League defenders. Hazard wasn't the biggest guy on the pitch, he wasn't the strongest, but he was almost impossible to dispossess when running at full speed. He subconsciously understood that ball protection is not all strength, it's physics and psychology. When Hazard felt a defender closing in while he was sprinting down the wing, he'd do something brilliant. He'd place his leg and body between the defender and the ball, creating what I call a scissors trap. The defender suddenly faced a lose-lose situation. Either they go through Hazard to get the ball, which means a foul and a dangerous free kick, or they back off and let him keep running with the ball. It's a mental game as much as it is a physical one, but this only works if you understand the biomechanics of effective shielding. First, you need to drop your body height closer to the ground. Think about this analogy. A pole stays upright very differently from a pyramid. A pyramid, with its wide base, is much harder to knock over than a tall, straight object. That's exactly what you're doing by lowering your center of gravity. When you bend your knees and lean into the defending opponent while maintaining ball position, you become almost impossible to knock off balance. Your body becomes a stable platform that can absorb contact while keeping the ball secure. In this position, you're loaded like a spring. You can explode in any direction the moment an opportunity appears. This is the difference between passive shielding and active protection. Passive shielding is just trying to keep the ball away from the defender. Active protection is using your body position to control the defender's options while keeping yourself ready to attack. Now, what force should you apply against your opponent? The key is positioning your buttocks, hips, and legs to create a barrier between the ball and the defending player. Use your arms subtly for balance, not to push to the point of fouling, but to match any pressure the defender is applying. Ronaldinho was a master at this. Watch his old clips and you'll see how he used his arms strategically to create just enough space to keep possession and stay in control. He never pushed. He just made contact and let the defender push against him, using their own force against them. This is what I mean by pressure absorption. You don't have to respond with brute strength to pressure, you have to accept it and redirect it. But here's a common mistake players do when shielding: they stay static. Watch how players like Busquets or Verratti operate in tight spaces. The ball is never still. They're constantly making tiny adjustments, tiny touches that keep the defender off balance. It creates new angles for passes or escapes, and it prevents the defender from timing their tackle because they never know exactly. Start slow. Dribble in place or in a small area while forcing yourself to keep your head up. It'll feel uncomfortable at first. Your brain will want to look down to check where the ball is. Resist that urge. Trust your feet to know where the ball is. As you improve, increase the tempo and try to get as many touches as possible while still keeping your vision up. But here's a training trick that will accelerate this development. Use a tennis ball at home. Dribble it around the house without looking. Sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. It forces your feet to become more sensitive to the ball, training true close control. The smaller ball forces more precision. The indoor environment creates obstacles that require constant adjustment. And the lack of visual feedback forces you to develop feel. So learn to lower your center of gravity and use your arms properly to keep the defender away. Also learn to become a smart diver to get fouls in dangerous situations. Dive in a way that you get the ball with your hands and stop the game, so in case the referee does not whistle, you won't give a chance for the opposing team to get the ball. But most of the time, the referee will give you a foul in these cases. Now, let's talk about scanning. Most players only scan when they have the ball. Elite players scan before they receive it, while they're receiving it, and continuously while they have it. To develop this habit, you need to train your awareness systematically. Before you touch the ball, quickly identify the 3 nearest opponents and the 3 nearest teammates. This gives you a baseline understanding of the immediate threats and opportunities. While you're shielding the ball, use peripheral vision and sound to track movement around you. Defenders make noise when they move. Teammates call for passes. The crowd reacts to dangerous situations. All of this information is available if you train yourself to process it while maintaining ball control. But here's an advanced scanning technique that most players never learn: predictive scanning. Instead of just seeing where players are now, elite players scan to see where players are going. They read body language, momentum, and positioning to predict movement before it happens. When a defender is approaching, experienced players can tell